I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day. Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, so I am a very big advocate for customer service, HR, conflict resolution. I don't want to have problems with you. I really don't. I don't like problems with people. I don't have no problems with people. And usually when I do have a problem with people, I revert back to say, okay. And that's all you get from me. Just okay, because I don't like it. If I could talk through with somebody, okay, without a conflict or wait and then talk through it, that's optimal. But these people do it for a living. They do it for a living. I love it. I love it because then now, just I have a problem with somebody in the business industry or somewhere, HR, I just call them. It's like, yeah, okay. You'll be hearing from my company. And I walk away. Miss Pinard, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be a part of your show today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, okay. I know this wasn't something that just like popped in your brain. We're going to handle conflict resolution. We're going to be the people that handle all of these problems. How did that happen for you? How did you find yourself in this business?
I just kind of stumbled into it. It wasn't something that was planned. For 2020, a lot of us were home or working from home because of COVID. And my background is I have over 10 years HR, and I'm pursuing a PhD in conflict resolution. So I come about with a vision board planner that's called Footsteps to My Vision. And it pretty much walks you through goal planning and doing SMART goals and so forth. And I just didn't want to just have like a regular planner or just like just a planner by itself. I wanted to have services to go with the planner. And so I was like, well, since HR is my background, why not do HR? And then in speaking to one of my professors, she's like, well, hey, you're in this whole PhD program about conflict resolution, and you have this unique background where HR typically in a workplace environment, you are involved in conflict, and day-to-day conflict happens. We're just different. So I said, okay, let me just put all the things together, HR, conflict resolution, and the planner. And that's how everything just kind of came about.
Wow. Well, congratulations on all of that. I mean, PhD, girlfriend, I wouldn't go back to school right now. I can't do it. I have no attention span. I would be like all over the place. I think I have like adult ADHD. I just want to know about it and be like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm still questioning that decision, but it's hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's definitely it's a non-traditional student.
Yeah, I was never traditional. I mean, why? Okay, so let me ask you a question. All right, so this is like right now, this is the biggest question in my brain. What made you go back to school and get it and think that you were going to go ahead and get the PhD? Because I know you're in it now, but what was it that inspired you to do it?
I love learning. So it was more like, what's next for me? I wanted to be growing up. I used to watch what's his name? Matlock. I wanted to be an attorney originally, and I realized that I was a little bit older to be going back to school for law school. And it didn't work with my family life because like there has to be some balance. So I decided, well, why not just go for something that I also love, which is just, that's the end product, which is a PhD.
I gotcha. So your family life, everything, law. I went to law school. They said I was too happy and that I would ruin my life. So I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do that. So, but I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, going back to school and and mind you, there have been so many different people that have went back to law school in their 50s or 60s or 70s and even into their 80s, just to go back and do something before it's time to leave this earth. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. Life is short. So tell me about your services, because I mean, you do so many different things and you're going to school, you're going to be a doctor. So it's going to be Dr. Pinard, right? And I'm loving it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not so much tied into like the title of the Dr. Pinard because I still want obviously like it does make you look good that you're Dr. Pinard quotation marks,
Mhm.
but I still want to be known as Kadianne, or people just say Special K, you know, as a running joke, that I'm approachable, but I'm also an expert in my area.
Mhm.
For the services that we offer for the individuals, we do resume writing, we do career coaching, we offer career coaching services, and pretty much just prep you for the next step if you're re-entering the workforce, or you know you're passively looking for that new job. What are some things that you can put on your resume to make you stand out? How to dress professionally. I hate to say dress professionally, but we are judged whether we like it or not. And so how just to be the top contender for that role, that next level for the individual side. And then for the employer side, we offer a wide spectrum of services. We do payroll, we'll do policies, we'll do a lot of recruitment because we know that right now there's a big gap in the workforce. You know, no one really wants to work. So we'll go and find that candidate for you.
Wow.
And then we also on the conflict resolution side, we do career coaching, having
Mhm.
those tough conversations, identifying the types of conversations that you're having, and some leadership development.
I love it. Okay, so let's go back because you're saying, and then this is so true. A lot of people are out of work right now. Most people don't. I'm not gonna say most people. I'm gonna say there's people that want to work, and there's people that don't want to work. There's people that just
Yeah.
lost their job. There's people that furlough, never got back. Their business closed. They closed their business. So you literally help them to reestablish their themselves back into the workplace.
Yes. So if they want to, because a lot of
Gotcha.
people, they're starting their own business.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also offer services, but then they would switch to the employer if they're looking to get staff for their current businesses, and also what the regulations are for their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are an employee, let's say you're a new grad, you're leaving school and you're like, okay, I don't know, like I want this job, but I don't know how to write a resume. We can coach you through that process. We'll write the resume for you. We'll prep you. We'll do like a mock interview just
Oh.
to kind of get the nervousness out of when you're interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, you know, any tips that you may have, like questions, because a lot of times, you know, questions that people don't want to ask, we'll phrase it in a way that would be more diplomatic when you're interviewing.
Right, right. What about those people that have been working for themselves all this time and now they don't want to open up a business, but they have so many skills and they don't realize what they have. They don't realize their skill set. Do you work with those people to get them a good resume?
Yes, we do. So we'll look at the job that you're trying to accomplish, the skill sets that you have that are sometimes not everything is captured, be it in education, but also in life experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll phrase it in a way that it matches the role and that you stand out to those employers. And sometimes we'll make those phone calls if we have those connections, because networking does help.
It does. It does. I was just thinking that because there's a lot of people that lost their jobs, but not only that had to close their businesses. So now they're finding themselves having to either, unemployment might have run out. They might be on their last, savings leg or whatever the case may be, and they don't know what they can do. They just don't know what they don't think they can do anything. Maybe they ran a bakery for the last 20 years and the bakery closed down, but those sets of skills that they had to run that bakery can run someone else's business. They just don't realize it.
Yeah, and that's where that conversation comes in, as to like, tell me about your background. Like, what were some things that you did? You running that bakery, you had to keep your books ahead, so that there are some accounting skills. Did you have employees? Did you do any types of training?
Mm.
And so that's how we apply it to the role that you're looking for. Now, with that being said, I also will be realistic with you in terms
Mhm.
of what because sometimes you may have to take a step back to move forward. And so
Yeah.
having those transparent conversations with the candidate or my customer, saying, hey, how about if you take a little step back, for this role that gets your foot in the door, show your skill sets, so that way, and have that transparent conversation with the employer saying, this is what my future goal is.
Definitely, definitely. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so not only do you do that, but you do conflict resolution. In what areas do you do that? I mean, is there like a certain criteria? You just can't come because you have a problem with your cousin. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's like it's gotta be something business, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? That I mean, I would refer you well to someone that does, right? But our focus is more so workplace conflict resolution and
Mhm.
handling those. It could be peer-to-peer conflict, it could be leadership, and then just training on those skill sets needed to, hey, identify what type of conflict am I having, and the types of conversations. Like, is this a difficult conversations? Because we'll just fall into a conversation and not know how to navigate that path. So we coach on those skill sets.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and then you do have something else that you do coaching. Tell me about that.
So the coaching goes for the peer-to-peer, an organization or a business can bring us in to discuss, okay, we want to know how to have a difficult conversation. This is someone that we're promoting, or there's conflict between our group. So we start by the process of having one-on-one interviews with each person based on what the ultimate goal of the organization is. And then we'll facilitate team events to kind of harmonize the team or the workforce.
I like it. HR, all of that stuff. I mean, it all depends on just rules and regulations, but it also depends on if you can get the people to actually like work together good. I mean, what do you suggest to other companies or people coming into, the workplace, or people leaving the workplace to go into their own thing? What do you say about this, and how have you been instrumental in helping people do this?
Well, one of the first things I like to say is that we put the human in HR. So you have to realize that we're human beings and we are diverse in cultures, backgrounds, or beliefs. And so it's easy to say to respect it, but I think organizations need to really, even if you are a very, very small mom and pop show, is to embrace diversity. I think it starts there.
Mhm.
And having those conversations and not ignoring the problem doesn't make it go away. So start by, we're human, we're gonna view things differently, but you also need to address whatever is going on. And so for my footprint, I'd like to say is that I believe that everyone's belief should be embraced and respected, even if I don't agree with it. And so that approach has allowed me to be very successful in my career thus far.
Wow. Well, I'm on your website, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that the website is going to be in the description box below so that you guys can go ahead and visit it yourself. But what I love about the website is that it's just really, really, really straightforward. Okay. But I wanted to go to all of the services that you have. So, and I want to let people know that what we've talked about is just the tip of the iceberg today. Okay. Because homegirl got it going on. All right. I'm just going to say that. Doctor
Not
got it
yet.
going on. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it.
Thank you. You're putting it out in the atmosphere. Thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much.
There you go, doctor. There you go. All right. So you got conflict resolution services, conflict resolution training. Tell me about that.
So the training is pretty much what I discussed about going over the skill sets that we need. We can facilitate it via virtual or in person. And that's where we basically do like an intake of what your needs are. And then we customize the training to what your needs are for your organization. So some people, it may be, we can do group, and it could be a group session and it works well, but it may be more, we have to do a little bit more coaching one-on-one, and that is the better option for the organization. So that's pretty much what that entails, but it's going to be different for every employer.
Right. Okay. So you got the workplace conflict resolution as well. which is something we already talked about and we touched on a little bit. Conflict coaching. What is that? Conflict coaching. How do you do that?
So conflict coaching it's pretty much let's say um, employee A, employee B, they're having an issue, and everyone is instrumental in their organization. So the business reaches out and say, I need these two employees, but they cannot work together. No matter what we do, employee A doesn't like employee B. How do we get them on the same path? And that's where we come in, where we meet with employee A, we meet with employee B, we meet with the leadership for the organization, because at the end of the day, if you have a group of employees that cannot work cohesively, it affects your bottom line, right?
Oh yeah.
So you want, I like to say satisfied employees. If as a business owner, that determines if the person is going to stay. It costs 3 times more to recruit for a person, replace a person, than to keep them. So we have those conversations, and then we build a plan going forward of how to address it.
Nice, nice. So this is really good because I mean, a lot of businesses don't have this. They're doing this themselves, but you can do this for them. You can step in and become that role, become those people that, HR that people look to for that company. And that's essential, especially if if you're running your own business and you have a very limited amount of time. Perfect. Perfect. So, all right. So you have leadership development workshops. I'm going to just go down the line because we can't really discuss everything, but I'm just going to say leadership development workshops, resume writing. We talked about that, career coaching, workforce planning, payroll administration, which is big because, you don't want to owe the IRS, y'all. Okay. Benefits and compensation planning, employee incentive programs. We need to talk about that because I think that right there is like the big, oh, I want benefits. What kind of benefits do I have if I'm going to do this job? You know what I mean? People are looking for something more than just a job. They're looking for a career. They're looking for benefits for their family, health benefits. They're looking for all these. So the employee incentive programs, tell me about that.
So the employee incentive program, that could be benefits, and benefits could be a wide variety of things, right? You have your traditional benefits, health benefits, PTO, 401k. So that's something that we negotiate because that is like a cost to the employer. But then we also look at the well-being of the employee overall, right? Like mentally, do you want to be there? Are you satisfied with being there? So we also look at recognition. What type of recognition programs do you offer for your employees? What type of incentives? Like if it's a place where it could be something as simply as free parking. So well, your parking should be free if you work anywhere. I'm just saying that, but some places it's not. You'd be surprised to have that premium parking spot. It's such a big deal. You know what I mean? So, and just like a free lunch or food truck. So we look at what you can offer, and also free things that are out there and resources that you can offer to your employees. And then we put that together, we plan that together and put it together for you so you can offer it to your employees.
Nice. That's really good. And I like it that, the actual owner or the manager doesn't have to do that. They can reach out to you guys and get that and get that done. So you have HR policy manuals. Oh, nobody wants to write a manual. I am telling you those things. Oh my gosh. You do that?
Yeah, so we do HR. We'll go in and do your employee handbooks for you based on whatever state you're in. Just making sure that it meets whatever the federal and state mandates are. And we also make sure that it's worded that employees can actually read it and understand it. So, and I think that's something that's very important, because how many times do you read your employee handbook and you're like, crickets?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me call HR. No, your stuff everybody should understand what you're putting out there. It should be very, very, very simple. So we simplified, but we make sure it meets all the state and federal regulations.
Oh girl, right there. That's it. I mean, if you only did that, that's enough. That right there, girlfriend. Oh my gosh, why? Why are you doing that? I'm thinking, why are you doing that? That is very hard.
Yeah, because I love HR. HR is my passion. So anything that I can do that is HR. You
Mm-hmm.
find me doing it.
Wow. Wow. Hey, I gotta do it because, girl, I'm telling you, the freaking HR policy manuals. Uh-uh. No, I couldn't do it. Okay, so let's go back into something I can do. Training and development. Now that's something that's just, oh my gosh. Okay, so the biggest thing I have about training and development is customer service. Do you do the one-on-one training and also the group training so that they know how to treat the customer and each other?
Yes. And training, and it has to be, everyone learns differently. Some people are like, they like to touch, some people like to see,
Right.
people like to hear. So we tailor the training to the individual, and then we try to make sure that we offer it in various ways so that it's also accessible to the employee at any time. Because sometimes, like you may be at work, you want to listen to something, if it's something the company allows, then we try to tailor it for the organization that way also.
Now, the other thing that I put into the same category as HR policy manuals is health, safety, and legal compliance. This is another one. If I needed to do it, I wouldn't. I'm just gonna say no. I'm hiring somebody. We need a budget, or we're not doing this at all.
Yeah.
Tell me about
And,
this.
and that,
I mean, isn't that state to state too? I mean, it differs. Like,
it is state to state, and that's where it's really important and crucial. I know a lot of people, they don't really value HR in in that aspect, but that's where you should have a really, really good HR individual. It'd be someone that you have in your organization, or someone that you've outsourced those services to, really leading you on the right path, because that's where the government will come in and fine you if you're not compliant.
thank you. Just saying, I'm giving you all the props. I'm just all the props, all of it. Because those two, I mean, everything else, yes, it's tough. It's not easy to do any of those. But when it comes to HR policy manuals, legal, health, and safety, all that stuff, government will come in and just take your business away, sue you, take all of your stuff, everything, down to the underwear if they could. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. And then you be left with nothing.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you're doing it, girlfriend. The future doctor, Miss Pinard, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's just you said that it was just something that you did, that you kind of stumbled upon, and then all of the services that you're studying now, and then that you know of, and that you have expertise in. You've been guided into doing this. What kind of a suggestion do you give to people that don't know their worth? They don't know that they can do this, but now that they've seen you, they've seen the things that you do, they think they can. What do you say to those people?
Do it. That I had a friend once that he was running races, and he was just running the races, and I'm like he'll do marathons and so forth. And I said to him once, I'm like, like, how do you just have that stamina? How do you do it? Because it's something I want to do. And he just said, do it. Like, if it's something that you're passionate about, just go ahead and do it. Find the resources, network with local organizations, join mentorship groups. I know, like, some the government, look at the Small Business Association, they offer mentorship for new businesses. And find those resources. Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, join niche groups if you can. Do your research. I'm not just saying to just jump into it, because you want to also take a calculated risk, but just go ahead and do it, because you don't want to, no one lives a life regretting, oh, I wish I worked harder. They regret that they didn't pursue their passion. So I say, go ahead, do it.
Wow. Well, where can people find your website? I wanted to make sure that I didn't say it, because I wasn't sure if it was initials or do you pronounce it?
So it is called KLADZ Resources. It's www.kladz resources.com. And we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You'll find us on all that. Our telephone number is also 561-801-0093. And we'll happily have a consultation with you or set up a consultation with you when you give us a call.
Definitely. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Pinard. I'm going to put it out there. The future doctor.
Putting it out in the universe.
That's right. That's right. Why not, man? I tell you, you're working hard. And I know I've seen people go through master's degrees and pulling their hair out, not literally, but almost. Okay. It's not easy. And I want to commend you for doing that and going back to school and getting your doctor's degree. But you didn't have to, because you're amazing just the way you are.
Well, thank you. And I also do it for my kids, because they see mommy doing it, they know that they can do it too.
Yeah.
So being that role model, that they don't have to look at anything else, but they have a live one right in front of them.
That's it. Wow. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. You have to let us know when you graduate and get your doctorate degree, so we could change the name on this episode right here to Dr. Pinard. I'm just saying, okay, so that we can be, politically
hopefully
correct.
by the end of next year we're there. So I'll definitely reach out. But thank you so much for having me on.
Awesome. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we're going to have all that information in the description box below, so that you can go ahead and check out these services for your business or for you. If you're changing, professions and you need a professional resume, you just don't know what you can do. You're pretty smart, but you just don't know how smart. She can point out how smart you really, truly are. Let them take care of you. If you need that service, again, it's in the description box below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I dare to be different.